All right, let's get right into it. We're looking at a story today that honestly feels like it's been ripped straight from tomorrow's headlines, except it's happening right now. Think of it as a cautionary tale, a really important one for pretty much anyone in the modern workforce. It all starts just like any other week. A typical Monday morning. You know the feeling. The start of the same old routine. The coffee's probably just kicking in, laptops are fired up, everything feels completely normal. Routine. But then there's this thing lurking in the calendar, an invite that looks so mundane, so boring, you barely even notice it. Operations review. And this, right here, is where our story really begins. So this is where we meet our main character. Let's call him Daniel and his team. For 5 years, these guys have been the absolute engine of the company's data operations. I mean, they built everything from the ground up. This one little meeting, though, it's about to change everything. Now, think about this team for a second. This wasn't some minor group tucked away in a corner. We're talking about a team of 8 people who were deeply embedded in the company's lifeblood, its data. They weren't just running reports. They were the trusted source for sales forecasts, for market analysis, and for those critical dashboards the execs looked at every single week. They were essential, or at least that's what they thought. And boom, there it is, the moment everything changes. It doesn't arrive with some big, scary announcement. Nope, it just walks in quietly, in the form of the CTO, a consultant, and a laptop. And this new dashboard, it isn't just an upgrade. It's an existential threat. Okay, this next part is really the heart of the story. It's where this, abstract idea about the future of work becomes a brutal, immediate reality for this team. I want you to pay close attention to the contrast we're about to see. It's something else. So this was the process they had perfected. It was this whole human-centric dance, right? A multi-step workflow with collaboration, reviews, and real expertise. You had people collecting data, cleaning it, visualizing it, verifying it. The whole thing took 2 full days of their collective brainpower to get their most important weekly report out the door. 9 seconds. That's how long the new AI-powered dashboard took to do the exact same work 2 entire days of human labor, of meetings, of checking for errors, all of it compressed into less time than it takes to even read the slide out loud. The efficiency is just staggering and, frankly, terrifying. And this is the gut punch. This is the moment of chilling clarity for Daniel. He realized this wasn't a tool to help them do their jobs better. It wasn't about augmentation. It was a tool for replacement. The AI didn't just automate a few tasks. It replicated their entire value to the company from start to finish. And then the other shoe drops. And it drops fast. Just 3 weeks later, the consequences of that 9-second demo become company policy. The harmless-sounding operations review has now morphed into the much more ominous operational restructuring. So this brings us to the central lesson of this whole story, and it's a tricky one. See, the team wasn't let go because they were bad at their jobs. They were eliminated because they were too good, because they created a process so clean, so efficient, so predictable that it became the perfect target for automation. And this chart just lays out the cold, hard math. The analytics department of 8 people was slashed down to just 2. And those 2 weren't even there to do the work anymore, but just to babysit the AI system that was now doing it all. 6 jobs, just gone. Vanished. So how did this happen? Well, here's how the trap works. First, the team did exactly what you're supposed to do in business, right? They created order out of chaos. They built repeatable, standardized processes to make sure the quality was high and the work was fast. And a funny thing happens when you get really good at a process like that. You document it, you write it all down, you create a perfect step-by-step instruction manual, a blueprint that anyone or anything could follow. And there it is. That's the final piece of the trap. That perfect blueprint they created wasn't just for training new team members. It was the exact logic an AI needed to be trained. They had, without even realizing it, written the code for their own replacement. So let's just put a name on this. The efficiency trap. It's this bizarre paradoxical situation where your biggest success, creating a perfect, predictable system, is the very thing that makes your job, or even your whole team's job, completely redundant. Your greatest strength becomes your absolute biggest vulnerability. So, if being super efficient is a trap, then where's the safety net? What does job security even look like in a world where entire workflows can be automated in 9 seconds? Well, this next part explores that critical shift in thinking. This slide lays it out perfectly. All the value is shifting away from the column on the left and piling up in the column on the right. Managing what's already known, following the steps, that's becoming a machine's job. The real human value, the stuff that's hard to automate, lies in the messy, the complex, the ambiguous. We're talking about designing new strategies, interpreting situations that don't have a clear answer, and making those gut-level judgment calls that you can't just boil down to an algorithm. And listen, this isn't just about analytics. Any team whose main job is to follow a structured, repeatable process is vulnerable. Reporting teams, research teams, support teams, heck, even layers of middle management whose whole job is just to supervise these predictable workflows are suddenly at risk. So here's the bottom line, the big takeaway. The future belongs to the architects, not the supervisors. It belongs to the people who can ask the right new questions, not just provide the same old answers a little bit faster. Real value is in creation and interpretation, not just execution. And that brings us right to the end, to the final, and honestly, the most chilling question of all. See, Daniel's story isn't just about his team. It's a warning shot for all of us. In that final moment, Daniel's perspective just completely flipped. That dashboard wasn't just a piece of software that cost him and his team their jobs. It was a signal, a flashing red light of a fundamental change happening in the business world, a sign of what was coming for everyone else. And that's the question this whole story leaves us with. It's not a question of if this is going to happen again, but where and to whom. So you have to look at your own work, your own team, and ask yourself, how much of what we do is just a predictable process waiting for its own 9-second solution?